ask over to our guests. Joining us to bring us more context in this story, we have Venkat Lakshmananarayan Sinha. He's a technology leader who's worked extensively on AI adoption and digital transformation. He'll give us the industry's view on whether safeguards exist, what they're doing. I just want to ask you, Venkat. So right now, if someone tries to join ChatGPT, the only thing that ChatGPT does is it asks you when you were born. A relatively easy piece to get over. So if one wants to lie about their age, it's very, very easy to do so. And ChatGPT's age limit or age requirement is essentially 13 years or above. What guardrails do you think need to be implemented? Because Sam Altman, when he heard of this, said it's worrying. It's worrying that teenagers are using us for companionship. He also said that we're making changes. But what changes are actually going to be put there? Venkat, tell us a little bit about what you know about how the industry is looking at this question and how they're approaching it.
Well, thank you. Thanks, Toya, for having me here today morning. I think the industry has done a lot already and a lot more needs to be done. If you look at the leading technology companies, OpenAI, Anthropic, they have put in several measures in place already, each with its own unique offering. If you look at OpenAI, they have something of human in the loop. They have trained the models, given feedback to train it better, to make it, empathetic, to listen more and reason better as humans. If you look at Anthropic, they have something that has a set of standards that essentially, enforce ethics as part of the framework that they have put together, constitutional AI and things like that. So they have taken several measures, and despite that, there has been this, tragic failure that has happened, and the reason is quite simple. If I were to, make it simple, I would say that when the model is made to reason for a very long period of time, as in it's not just one question or two questions, but the conversation lasts for a long period of time, the entire conversation is taken as one big token, and the safety measures right now give you a A or an A for, a yes or a no for a content that is flaring up as problematic, and that system may not scale very well. What we need are safe systems. So there are, we've talked about what they've done so far, but what they have to do in the future, we really need to build in safe systems that both Anthropic and OpenAI are looking at quite closely. So that's the past and the future way forward for us.
Okay. From a therapist providing that kind of safety net to what this chatbot was doing, or ChatGPT in this case was doing, Mr. Venkat, tell us a little bit about what's really happened here, because ChatGPT has come out to say that we do have the required guardrails, that there is a protocol in place. The mechanism works in a way that the moment somebody is leaning towards these kind of thoughts, the AI product here does direct them to real helpline numbers, to real world resources. But came in from AI's point of view only with regards to short exchanges. It said this one feature is limited to short exchanges. What does ChatGPT mean when it says limited to short exchanges? Because the lawsuit clearly says that suicide was mentioned 1,275 times to Adam.
A short exchange, it's a great question. Short exchange is something that's very transactional. I mean, you just asked me a question and I answered it. Imagine if you and I were to engage in a conversation for the next 2 days, talking about multiple things, and I talk about the merits of, so many things with you, and then I slip in, a question, what's essentially in AI parlance called a jailbreak, where we tend to steer the conversation towards other topics, and then the reasoning model essentially looks at the persona with whom it's interacting, that it's a genuine question, and it tries to answer it, right? So that's what the models do. Let's be very clear. These AI systems are made to reason and think like human beings. That's the purpose of it, and to improve productivity. Those are the two things that they do. And so when you have a long conversation with these AI systems, it tends to move towards giving the right information and to mimic a human. About the comment on what it takes to safeguard it, I think we need safeguards built not just for short conversations, but for really long conversations. Tokens that build up over time, and then you're looking at the whole system, and not just give a yes or a no. Am I giving content that's unethical? Rather than that, which is kind of how the systems are right now. But they're also moving towards systems where you always end it safe. So it doesn't matter what the question is. At the end of it, you say that, look, I can guide you in so many ways, but here are the publicly available information that you should go look at. And those are already being implemented, except that we need to implement that at scale. And not just with one GPT, ChatGPT being one of them, but with multiple other GPTs and also other LLMs. So we have a huge task in front of us. It's not just with one company that we have this topic.
Would it be, correct me if I'm wrong, and nothing against AI here, but Venkat, would it be correct to say that some companies then are racing to design products that are monetizing on this kind of user accessibility or intimacy, and somehow user safety is becoming or ending up becoming collateral damage in this process?
That's a great question. Every company is racing towards making their system more reason like a human and think like a human. That's the purpose of these systems. But having said that, your point on collateral damage, I have a slightly different view on it. I think most of these companies have that ethical standpoint. If you look at all the systems that they've been putting in place from the time the first GPT came in to where we are right now, there are lots of systems that are being kept in place. It's not that they are unaware of it, but I think it's a self-regulation that's going on right now. I wouldn't use the word collateral damage. They are self-regulating, every single company. The first act that ever came into the picture from a government is the EU AI Act of 2024-2025, where they have something called unacceptable risk, high risk and things like that. So if the companies are led towards things that are unacceptable, high risk for a given country, then that would better help them conform to those regulations and put the systems in place that conform to it, right? So that's really what it is.